Welcome back to the Sherwood Urban Farm. My name is Bridget, and in today's video I am going to show you how I make a Hypertufa bowl, how I pot it up, and how you too can be sustainable growing in small containers. So the three ingredients that you're going to need for a Hypertufa bowl is this is coconut peat, vermiculite, and cement. So it's equal parts of the three ingredients. I've got this mixing or this measurement. So I'm just going to have, I think this is quite a big plastic container. I think maybe let's try this 1, 2, 3. Oh dear, it's going to have to be 3 of each, and then we'll see how we go. One. So this has already been soaked. It comes in those bricks like this. But actually you don't want it to have little lumps, because then it makes it difficult to mix it all in, and then you end up with lumps of it which is not mixed with the cement, and then that's a problem. Okay. One. Also be careful when working with cement. You're going to want to use gloves. I'll put the gloves on just now, because this is not good for your skin. And then mix it in good and proper, making sure that you don't have any kinds of lumps in the cement or in the coconut peat. Okay, so I've mixed this in, and I've broken up any of the little, well, hopefully all of the little clods that are in here. Now for me, the tricky part is knowing when I've got enough water. So I'll start with one of these jugs and put it in like that, and mix it in. Change to these gloves. Those yellow gloves were just too hard. Missed that. See, ideally you want it like this. It mustn't be too wet, and it mustn't be too dry. It must just keep to itself like that. But now I've still got lots of dry bits. I think I'm going to need a touch more water. Let's just add a tiny bit. If you do add too much water, you just add more cement, and then it'll just make it heavier. The idea with a Hypertufa bowl is that it won't be heavy. So I'm getting along the sides here. Oh, that still looks a bit, yeah, just a bit too dry. Yeah, that's nice. That's right. Okay, because if it is too wet, it takes too long to dry, and it doesn't work out well. So now I also want to add these little tiles along the side. So what I do is I pack it in at the bottom. So I start here, and then I pack it in. You also don't need to make it too thick. I've got ones that are not that thick, and they're in the vegetable garden. They're doing just grand. So I'll pack it in along the sides like this, all about the same height. See, so this is still loose in this here in the middle, right? And then I take the tiles and I stick them in sort of like that. Just make sure you're not getting some of the cement mix in between the tile and the wall of the plastic.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
I'll begin to pack it up along the sides, pushing it in nice and firmly.
It's clear to see.
You want to sort of have a levelish base. Now I'm in two minds about making drainage holes because these pots, they hold water, but then they also will lose water. So I don't know if you can even actually overwater a Hypertufa bowl. And I have found the best way to water these when you have potted it up is by soaking them. If you have a bigger container, then you put water in it and then you just put the whole container in. I find that seems to work the best to make sure that the pot and the soil inside the pot is nice and well watered. So I'm not going to bother with the drainage holes at the bottom because I found that, yeah, it really isn't actually necessary. It's not like a cement thing that is going to hold the water in. This breathes. And it will, yeah, it will hold its water decently, but you have to just check it quite regularly. And then I'll try and make it sort of as even and neat, the edges, as possible. I've seen some people online, theirs is quite shoddy actually. But that's their style, eh? Everybody has their own style. This is just the way I like it. I don't want it to look very homemade. And now you can leave it. Now what I've done is I have left these pots overnight, and then I've tipped them out, and they've been fine. But then I've also had it where once I tipped it out and then I cracked it. So possibly, I think if you want to really be sure, just leave it for 2 days. So that would be like 48 hours. Just leave it to dry for 2 days, and then you tip it out. That's the next day. I know I said you should actually wait 2 days, but I can't. I get so excited. I can't wait to see how it turned out. So let's have a look how it is going. Okay. So I'll just try and loosen it a bit. Some people use a releasing agent, or previously I've even used old cooking oil, but I realized that that's not always necessary. So then I stopped doing it. And then I also couldn't use my bowl as a mixing bowl if I'm going to have that release agent, because I'm going to be mixing it. Anyways, here goes. Let's hope it works out. It's always a bit of a touch and go. Let's see. So just pull on the sides a bit, but it feels hard. Oh dear, maybe I should have used that release agent. Hang on. No, I think it's loose. You can see it's loose on the side. It's maybe just at the bottom where it's sort of sticking. Aha. There we go. Look at that. Oh, no way. Shibet. Maybe I should have waited a little bit. I'm going to just leave it like that, but there is a little bit here where it did come where my hand was as it tipped out. So now I'm going to just leave it like this to dry for another day, because now at least it will dry faster with it not being inside the plastic, because on the inside it's much drier. Oh, that is a pity. But let me show you what it looks like. And that's very nice. And this is actually the ideal shape bowl and it's cheap. You get it at the plastic warehouse and it's cheap. But look what I did here. See, what a pity. I can actually just make another bit and then fill it in there. I'm too scared to tip it now. I'll just leave it like this. But there it is. Yo, that came out nice. And even these, sometimes then I don't get them all straight. They're straight-ish. I think that's good enough. That looks nice. It is bitterly cold today. I can't believe 2 days ago I was standing here with a short sleeve shirt on. But I just wanted to come out quickly to the shed, and I hope you can hear me because it's raining on the tin roof and stuff. But I want to show you how I pot up this Hypertufa bowl and how much food you can actually grow in such a small container. So if you have a number of these, then you can grow quite a substantial amount of food for yourself and your family. Right, so let me show you quickly, and then I'm going to hit it back to, in the rain, back to the house and have a nice hot cup of coffee. Let me show you what we're going to do. Now, I'm confident now that this is dried enough, and it's hard enough for me to handle. I'll show you where it did crumble a little bit there, but I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm going to just leave it as it is. Otherwise, there it is. So first thing I'm going to do is put in some potting soil. I get this from the local nursery. I feel it's a little bit dense, and also I find it difficult sometimes to tell if this stuff is wet or dry. Anyway, so always have to do the stick your finger in there test. I wish I had some perlite or vermiculite on hand, and then it would have mixed that in. Just to make it a little bit lighter, I'm just gonna add a little bit of coconut peat, just to lighten it up a bit, because this will also help with the moisture retention. Maybe a little bit more. But I have found with coconut peat, it's going to go both ways. When it's dry, and then it takes a lot of water to rehydrate it again. But I think, and then when it holds, if you keep your eye on it, then it will hold the moisture nicely. But don't let it dry out completely. That's what I've done before, and that wasn't a good idea. Right, I think that's good enough. And then I'm a bit low in seedlings in the greenhouse at the moment, but what I do have is Chinese cabbage. So I'm going to grow 4 in here. They're not going to make the biggest Chinese cabbages, but I think we'll still get a decent amount. And if I get little mini ones, that's also fine, because I have got so many little Chinese cabbage seedlings that I'm going to probably be sick of Chinese cabbage by the end of the season. So little mini ones will be fine. I mean, the growing space really just determines how big your plant is going to be. So these are not going to be big, but that's okay. I mean, you can, in this pot, you can put in probably, let me just think, 3 or 4 pea plants. You can, and then underneath the pea plants, you could probably pot in some lettuce. You can probably put in some lettuce underneath the peas. What you can grow in these, you can grow peas, you can grow bush beans. Maybe in the size, a pot this size, probably only 1 bush bean plant, but they're prolific. And you can do onions. You could probably put 12 onion plants in here. If you multi-sow them, you can do 12 onion plants in here. You can probably do 12 beetroot plants. You can do radish. That was the other thing I wanted. You can do radish. You can do turnips if you eat turnips. We don't eat turnips. And what else? Baby spinach, lettuce. Really, I mean, obviously, the bigger the pot, the more you can fit in there. But this is such a cost-effective, easy way to build a nice planter that is going to last many years. And then the other thing is, if they do break, then you just mix on a slurry of cement. Like, let's say a piece cracks out or something because whatever, you dropped it or what. Then if it breaks, you make a slurry of the cement, and then you can just mend it like that, almost like a glue. So I hope that you enjoyed this video today. Well, it was over the last couple of days, and you feel encouraged to grow your own food or inspired. And go ahead, make a little Hypertufa bowl. It's really not higher grade at all. It's very easy to make. You can make them very pretty. You can even buy ceramic little towels with writing on it. I've done that as well. I've used different kinds of containers. I've used this container. This one worked quite well because this was like a little, that one worked well like a little planter box. And any size, you can honestly do any size. You can look online and you'll see people make massive ones. But I prefer to make the smaller ones because that's what I'm comfortable with. Right, so if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. And I hope that you have a fantastic day further.